And we are live. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? What's going on, social media socialites? If you are watching this for the first time and you don't know who I am, my name is E.DeanCole, and I own DeanCole Coaching. We are a consulting firm. We specialize in working capital, alternative finance, business credit development, and I also own Atlanta Lights, which is the #1, this restaurant and lounge, there we go, which is the #1 restaurant and lounge in Puerto Plata. And I decided to go live to answer some of you guys' questions about funding, about what's been going on with the restaurant, and I'm also gonna enjoy my delicious French toast, you dig? I mean, some French toast for brunch. Got this beautiful cigar from my cigar line. Got me a macchiato, and it's a beautiful Sunday. So I decided I'd just chat with you guys. So if you guys are watching, when you come in, I want you to go ahead and say what's going on. Introduce yourself. I want everybody to hit that like button, hit that share button as soon as you guys come in, and we're gonna get into it. I'm gonna do everything in my power to try to make this. DL is in the building. What's going on, DL? DL was the first one to come in on the notification squad. What's going on, DL? I'm gonna try everything in my power. I'm gonna try, okay? I'm gonna try to make this video less than an hour. You know, these live Q&As are a little different because my channel is dedicated to economic empowerment through entrepreneurship. What's going on? We got Young Guns in the building. We got Lisa in the building. James is in the building. Liz is in the building. What's going on, Liz? How are you doing today? We got Son of a King is in the building. What's going on? We got It's Goody is in the building. What's going on? It's Goody. How are you doing today? We got Corey. Corey is in the building. What's going on? We got YBA is in the building. What's going on, YBA? How are you doing? So like I mentioned, guys, like my channel is dedicated to economic empowerment through entrepreneurship. Yes, I live in the beautiful Dominican Republic, but I am an entrepreneur. I'm a business coach and a life coach first. And so I am using my channel to teach. So even though I don't want you guys to get distracted by the beautiful women in the background and the chicas and all that good stuff, this channel is dedicated to economic empowerment through entrepreneurship. So if you're watching the video and you was like, hurry up and get to the point, shut up. You saw how long the video was when you clicked on it. You saw that it was a live video, and live means that it's live. You dictate the flow of this video because it is live. This is a Q&A. So I'm gonna answer you guys' questions and let the Lord use me, you know what I'm saying? So I got this good old maple sugar for this French toast. Got my French toast, and just go ahead and just vibe out. So that means that if you came looking for some half-naked Dominican chicks, click off the video. This ain't the video for you. If you came on here trying to look at some soft porn, this is not the video or the channel for you. If you clicked on my channel because you want to see what the price of street meat is right now in Sosua, this video is not for you, okay? This video is about business funding, specifically for a restaurant, and what's been going on with me. So there's a lot of people that find my videos because of different suggested videos. So but now, if you are wanting to be an expat or wanting to be somebody to travel the world, live your best life, don't just think about it, then this video is for you. If you are wanting to be able to learn how to work from home, or to create an online business so that you can live anywhere in the world, have first world income in a third world country, then this video is for you. If you want to learn how to get restaurant funding, if you want to learn how to fund a restaurant, whether it's in the United States, in Philippines, China, Canada, Dominican Republic, Jamaica, wherever, then this video is for you. So stop all that whining and complaining in the comments. You saw how long the video was. You did what I'm saying? So let's just get to it. So how you guys been doing, y'all? I actually also was thinking about just doing like a video, a basic recording video, and uploading some B-roll. But we're so close to opening up the restaurant, so that I'm like, I don't want to show y'all nothing else until like grand opening. So how many of you guys? So first of all, let's do a temperature check. So if you're watching for the first time, if you are watching for the first time, I want you to say first time. If somebody shared this with you, or somebody shared this in a private Facebook group and you're watching for the first time, I want you to say first time. If you are not watching for the first time, but you are a subscriber, I want you to say family. Okay? Let's do a temperature check. And if you are not a subscriber, if you're not family, if you are a client of mine, meaning that you've purchased one of my online courses and you have hired me for coaching in the past or coaching in the future, I want you to say client. So let's see. We got a lot of family in the building. Ray David says family. What's going on, Ray? Happy birthday, Ray. Jessica Wilson says family. Brian says family. John says family. YBA says family. DL asked a very long question. I'm gonna get to that. DL, this is a live Q&A, but you gotta wait for the time to come. Good morning, Corey. Morning says family. Good morning, Corey. We got Terrell says client. King Solomon says client. O'Shea Collins says family. DeMarcus Washington says family. Okay. DeMarcus is in the building. What's going on, DeMarcus? How you feeling, my man? All right, we can. Keisha says family. No, Keisha says client. Alicia says family. Wilson, what's that? William says family. Watching at work. That's what I'm talking about. Ray David is in the building. Watching from Canada. So guys, I'm getting into this French toast and let you guys get in here. We have 57 of you guys watching right now. All 57 of you guys, hit that thumbs up button right now. Hit that like button, hit that share button as well. Let people know that you value this content, and we're gonna get to it. So like I said, I'm trying to make this video, do the best that I can to make the video an hour long. Let people get in here, and this is a live video. I hear somebody racing down the highway. This is good. This is very good. Got my strawberries. It's halfway healthy. I got my strawberries. It's halfway healthy. So let's get to it. So first of all, how many of you guys want to know how to, okay, let's dictate this. I might change the title of this video. Most of you guys might not want to know how to fund a restaurant, but you might have questions about being an expat or have questions about just a restaurant in general. So I might change the title of this video. You guys, like I said, this is a live video. You guys dictate it. So what questions do you guys have for me? So give me one-word answers. If you guys have questions about funding, I want you to say funding. If you have questions about the restaurant, I want you to say the restaurant. If you have questions about travel, I want you to say travel. If you have questions about being an expat, I want you to say expat. You guys dictate the flow. So DL says funding. Larry says funding. Okay. DL says restaurant. Terrell says funding. DL says trucking business. Funding and travel. Who did it say funding and travel? That was John. Says funding and travel. Brian says funding. Who's that says Alizin, one mess, says all three. Ray Davis said health insurance abroad. That's a very good one, Ray. Health insurance abroad. Okay. Brian says nightclubs. Corey says all three. Y'all trying to creep me for 3 hours. It's supposed to be a chill Sunday. Man, this is too sweet. This is my first time trying this. Man, that was crazy. My live went out and my back. That was weird. That was so weird. The live went in and went out. Can you guys see me okay? And can you hear me okay? If you can see me and hear me, let me know. Can you see me? I know this is a lot of back and forth for you guys that are not really my clients and my fans that don't like me. I know this irritates y'all so much. Hey, let me get to the point. My attention span is so small, so slow. I smoke too much weed. I can't think. If it's not Netflix, I can't sit down and sit still. Okay, you guys are back. Okay, all right. So, like I was saying, this stuff right here is sweet. This is my first time trying this. Tried the first time in the DR. It says sugar. It really does taste like sugar. This is way too sweet. But all right, so let's get to it, guys. Most of you guys said funding and had questions about funding and have questions about travel. Most of you guys said funding and real estate. So let's do this. I'm gonna talk about the top 5 ways to fund your restaurant or to fund any business project. So I'm gonna tell you guys a secret, right? Tell you guys a secret. Business funding is very, very simple. Have you guys ever noticed that when somebody owns one business, most of the time you will see them own multiple businesses? And most of the time, if you know somebody that's an entrepreneur, and you'll see somebody like Donald Trump, or someone like myself, or let's see if another good entrepreneur that I like. What's my man's name? Gary Vaynerchuk, or what's the other one that I like? Or The Real Wolf of Wall Street, how he bounced back. Or The Real Wolf of Wall Street, his name is what's the Real Wolf of Wall Street's name? Man, what's his name? What is his name? What's the real I'm talking about entrepreneurs. What's his name? What is his name? Jordan Belfort. There you go. Thank you for that, dear. Jordan Belfort. Yeah, Jordan Belfort. Or Jordan Belfort. If you ever notice how most real entrepreneurs, when they have a business, that they'll end up turning around and having multiple businesses, and it seems like they always have multiple projects, and they have multiple projects working at the same time. If you've ever noticed that, I want you to say noticed it. If you've never noticed it before, I want you to say never have. Like I said, this is a lie, and you guys dictate the flow of this and how this goes. So if you've ever noticed it before, I want you to say noticed it. If you never have, I want you to say never have. And I'm going to tell you the reason why that's the case. Notice. Thanks so much that you guys are participating. Notice. That's right. Notice. Okay. So Terrell says never have. Okay. Never have. So Costilla says never have. Okay. O'Shea says notice it. William says notice it. Okay. Lisa says never have. David says notice it. Okay. Well, what happens is that, or like a Rich Dad Poor Dad, if you guys have ever read the book, they talk about having multiple different businesses. The reason why is because this business credit and business funding is easy to build. Whether you're going to build a cigar shop, whether you're going to build a restaurant, whether you're going to build a trucking business, a at-home daycare, or you're going to build a clothing line. If you're going to get funding from the bank, the first 10 steps are the exact same for any business. There might be some different nuances and some niches to get funding towards the end that are specific to that niche, but the first chunk of funding, the first 10 things are the same. So that's why it's easy to see people get businesses and get funding, and they turn around and do something else, and then they turn around and do something else, because once you know how to build funding and get business funding, it's easy for you to do. It's easy to get funding. Banks will throw money at you when you set yourself up the right way, okay? So if you guys are with me and you're ready for me to start teaching, I want you to say with you, okay? I'm gonna answer your specific questions at the end because there's a lot of people that are watching. If you do super chat, I'll make sure I answer your question. But wait till the Q&A section because I don't want you to ask a question and get upset because I'm not at that point. And yes, this is live, okay? You says you're with you. Thank you so much for that. Elon says with you. Time to Shine says with you. Thank you so much for that. Yoga is in the building, says Boss Life. What's up, Yoga? ATL is in the building. With you, okay, you says with me. Awesome. Okay, that's good stuff. All right, Sporty C says with me. Okay, awesome, you're with you. Okay, awesome. So, now, the mistake that most people make is they think if they want to get a loan or they want to get funding, one of the first things that they do is they go and use their own personal credit because it's the easiest to do. For the last 18 years, or maybe even 30 years of your life, all you've ever focused on is your personal credit. So, for 30 years or 40 years or 25 years, however old you are, until the time you want to become an entrepreneur, the only thing you know about is personal credit. And because all you know about is personal credit, all you think is my credit and my credit score. So, how many of you guys think that you have to have good personal credit in order to have business credit? If you do, I want you to say you do. If you don't, I want you to say you don't. And if I taught you, I want you to say, Dean taught me. If you already know the answer. Because like I said, there are people from different walks of life that are watching this for the first time, and I feel like teaching, I'm in a teaching mode, okay? All right, so you don't. All right, you says I do, that's good that you do. You don't, I do, that's good. Dean taught me, that's what I'm talking about. King Solomon says, you taught me, I do, you do. All right, Silverback says you do. YBA says you taught me, okay, that's good stuff. So the reality is this, you are one person, you are one entity. All you have is your one credit score. All you have is what you're able to do by yourself. Most people don't understand that when you build a business, you're building a different entity. And a different entity is just like a different person, okay? And every single business that you build has its own business profile, just like it's yourself. So you can reproduce yourself and build business credit through each business instead of building it through yourself. I'm not gonna lie to you, it is faster, okay? It is faster to get business credit when you use a personal guarantee and you have good personal credit. However, you can build business credit that is 100% separate from your personal credit when you build a business entity separately, okay? So if you have one business owner can own multiple businesses. It's just like having a child, right? Let me give you an example. Each one of your businesses is your baby. Let's do a check. If you are an entrepreneur right now, and if each of your businesses is like your baby, I want you to say, my babies, okay? Because these are your babies. Your businesses are your babies. Think about this. The same way, when you have a child, your child has a birth certificate and they have a social security number when they're born in the United States of America. The same thing with your business. When you create a proper business the right way, you're going to get a EIN number, which is in place of the social security number. And you're going to register with the Secretary of State, which is the same thing like a birth certificate, okay? So I'm gonna say that again, so you guys can understand. So, the same way as a person, when a person is born and a person is created, they have a social security number and they have a birth certificate. Those are the two main things that are used when it comes to building personal credit. The same way when it comes to building business, you need something called an EIN, which is an employee identification number, and you need to register with the Secretary of State. Register with the Secretary of State is just like a birth certificate, where you're born. Now, there are 10 things, okay, that the 10 things that every business needs to do in order to get funding. And the first two things are that you must first have an EIN number, and the second thing is you must register with the Secretary of State, either as a LLC, a INC, a S Corp, or a C Corp, okay? If you guys are with me, I want you to say 1 and 2. I want to make sure I'm not just talking to myself. 1 and 2. Those are the first 2 steps that you guys need to do in order to build business credit. 1 and 2, that's right. There you go. There you go. Thank you for participating with me. There we go. Yo, this video is going to be about less than an hour. I feel it. Because 1, this too sweet, I ain't going to eat all this. And 2, y'all energy is right with me. Y'all going to help push me through this. There we go. 1 and 2. There you go. So, when you have a legitimate business, you're able to build business credit that's 100% separate from your personal credit when you create the foundation of having those 2 things. The first 2 mistakes that people make is they'll do a DBA or doing business as, and they'll use their personal credit instead of their business credit. So what they'll do is they'll just start saying, you know what, I want to start doing business one day. And they'll just open up a chicken shack and say, okay, I'm doing business. Or they'll start trapping out the trunk of their car saying, okay, I'm doing business. Or they'll print out a couple of t-shirts and say, okay, I'm doing business. But that's not business, that's hustling. In the eyes of the bank, I don't care if you can make $1 million selling t-shirts. You're not a legitimate business in the eyes of the banks unless you have the proper foundation. Meaning you have an EIN, which is an employee identification number, and you are registered with the Secretary of State. Now, I can teach on the different ways to protect your assets and talking about the Secretary of State. That's a whole separate video all by itself. But we're just talking about the basics of the first 10 things that you need, okay? So, the third thing that you're gonna need is a business checking account. It don't matter if you got $2 in there. A business checking account. In order to open up a business checking account, you need to have 3 things. 1, you need to have a EIN. 2, you need to have your articles of incorporation from the Secretary of State, which is just like we said, the Social Security number, the birth certificate. And the third thing is that you need to have a clean and clear credit check systems, being check systems. So let's do a temperature check on check systems, okay? Now, I can teach you how to wipe out your check systems to where you completely wipe it out. Legally, I can teach you how to legally do a credit sweep to where you can wipe out your check systems. But for right now, we're talking about a business checking account. So you guys know what check systems is. If you know what check systems is, I want you to say, I know. If you don't know what check systems is, I want you to say, don't know, okay? If you know, I want you to say, I know. If you don't know, I want you to say, don't know. So Yoga says, tell us. Yoga, you ain't following no instructions. You talking about some tell us. Yoga, Yoga, first of all, if it's the real you, you need to put your face up because there's a lot of trolls out there and that orange circle ain't gonna fly. And I'm not gonna talk to no orange circle. So if that is the real you, Yoga, you need to take a real picture of yourself and put it up if that's really you. So if that's really you, Yoga, you need to take a picture of yourself and put a real avatar up because I'm not gonna talk to no orange circle. I'm from Atlanta, shouting. That's thing number 1. Thing number 2, so the quote, maybe the Yoga says, tell us, okay, all right, Sporty C says, don't know. Terrell's Chosen One says, I know. All right, Castella Ebro, is that Castella? Castella says, don't know. All right, Camille says, don't know. Ellen says, don't know. Brian says, I know. Fatima says, I don't know. Father D says, don't know. John says, I know. William says, I know. All right, TR Haywood says, don't know. All right, DeMarcus says that I know. So it's a lot of don't knows more than I know. Okay, so Check Systems is a credit reporting agency that reports your banking activity when it comes to fraudulent checks and it comes to um, bounce checks. It's called check systems. So check systems is a reporting agency, just like you have Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. Then the third biggest one is check systems. So if you want to open up a checking account, what they do is they run your name through check systems to see if you have any bounce checks or if you have any fraudulent activities on your checking account, to see if you owe, if you have wrote any bad checks. Now the cool thing about that is most people nowadays, they don't even have a checkbook. They don't even know what a checkbook look like. So check systems is almost antiquated, because when's the last time you wrote a check? Most people don't even know what a check look like. Don't even know how to get checks because of your debit card, and because you're able to swipe things with your debit card. You can get NSF fees and you're fine. NSF fees does not stop you or put you in a bad mark with check systems. However, let's say if you have a lot of NSF fees, but you close that account and you owe that bank, then by you owing that bank, you're put into check systems, okay? So check systems is basically a banking system that reports to all the major credit institutions if you owe a banking institution. So if you guys are with me, I want you to say with you, okay? So if you don't have any bad checks, if you never wrote a bad check in your life, if you don't even know what a check is, or if all you have is a personal checking account, or if you don't even have a checking account, then you have a clean check systems. 90% of people in the world have clean check systems and they don't know. Most of the time, if you have bad check systems, you know that you wrote a bad check. You know that you owe a bank or banking institution. And even if you owe a bank or owe a banking institution, you can still get that cleaned up. You can actually dispute it the same way that you can dispute a collection and have it wiped away completely clean. We've had, as our consulting firm, we've helped somebody that had a $20,000 check system lien on an old business they had get it completely removed because that business filed bankruptcy. And we were able to get that wiped off for them. But then there are also some people that, like, they had some, their identity was stolen and they had some bad checks from an apartment complex, and the person ended up using their name, and we were able to get those wiped away for them as well. So you can legally clean your check systems the same way you can legally clean collections and bankruptcies and foreclosures off of your credit report. Okay, so remember, step number one you need is an EIN number. Step number two that you need is registration with the Secretary of State. The third thing that you need is a business checking account. It's very important that you have a business checking account, because if you don't have a business checking account, then you're not doing business. Because in the eyes of the bank, you don't like I said, you can have $1 million. You can make $1 million. And that $1 million, if that $1 million goes through a personal account, you can't get any business funding, not one business loan. But on the other hand, you can have a business checking account and have $0 go through it, and you can still end up getting $5, $10, $15, $20, $30,000 in business funding. I'm about to teach you how. I'm not going to teach you all the way how, but I'm going to teach you a little good amount how, okay? I'm going to teach you a good amount how, okay? So I see your questions, guys. So remember, your questions, I'm going to answer your questions at the end, or if you do a super chat, that's going to make your questions stand out at the top so I don't forget, okay? So I see a lot of you guys' questions, and I am going to answer your questions, okay? So just wait till I get to the end, till I get to that point. Because right now I'm focused on teaching versus answering the question, okay? You guys are with me. All right, let's see, we got, 75 people watching right now? I only got 30 thumbs up. I'm not gonna teach another thing unless y'all hit that like button. Do I really have over 30 haters trolling me right now? Everybody hit that like button and hit that share button right now. Hit that thumbs up button. I'm teaching you guys on the 10 things that you need in order to get business funding. Whether you get it for a restaurant, whether you get it for, maybe I need to change the title of the video to that. The 10 things that you need to build business funding. But I'm actually going to talk about the restaurant. Like the Q&A is mainly about my restaurant and about how to get funding. So basically, even though I live here in the Dominican Republic, I still have my citizenship in the United States. So as we're waiting for you guys to hit that like button before I teach some more gems, I'm going to go ahead and explain how I was able to do this. So every last one of my businesses, I have 5 different businesses that are all separate businesses. My consulting firm, my coaching business, my cigar business, my restaurant, my real estate business, and I have another holding company that I have. Every last one of those businesses, they all have EIN number that's separate from the other and registered in which state, depends, registered with the Secretary of State or whatever state it is, each individual business in the United States. Now, me being an international business coach, I live in the Dominican Republic and do business in the Dominican Republic. First, the business is registered in the United States. Why do you go through the process of registering with the United States? Because of business funding. You want to get funding for your business. You can spend your money anywhere. Visa, MasterCard is accepted. Anywhere they have a bank that's in the United States and they also have the bank in that same country, you're able to do business. Like I was, one of my favorite entrepreneurs is Frank Lucas. Y'all know who Frank Lucas is? If y'all know who Frank Lucas is, I want you to say, I know. One of my favorite entrepreneurs is Frank Lucas. Frank Lucas, at the time, I think he had 6 different businesses all over New York, and Frank Lucas made $1 million a day. Y'all know who Frank Lucas is? I want you to say, I know. If you don't know who he is, I want you to say, don't know. And I'm going to use this as I teach, as I get ready to go to the next steps, to explain what Frank Lucas did. All right, King says, no, I know. Okay, most of y'all know who Frankie is. Frank Lucas. So now check this out. Frank Lucas, before Frank Lucas did any international business, he was in New York. And he deposited his money into Chase Manhattan Bank because he was in Vietnam, he was in Saigon. They also had a branch there. So after he got his passport, see, now that's a yoga that got a picture up. So after, now that yoga, I will talk to that yoga. So after he deposited his funds into his Chase account, and Chase, it's after he, that's the reason why anyway, let me focus. So after he deposited his funds into the Chase account, he went over to the Philippines so that he could have access to it. So the exact same thing, when you are an expat and you're an entrepreneur, you can have dual citizenship. You just don't, in order to play this game the right way, to get the most leverage, it's easiest to register your business in the United States and then spend your money internationally. Anywhere that Visa, MasterCard, American Express is accepted, and it's easier if the bank who you bank with also banks in the country that you want to live in. If you guys are with me, I want you to say with you. Make sure I'm not talking to myself. If you guys are with me, I want you to say with me. I only got 46 thumbs up and we got 75 people watching live. Do I really have 30 haters? Really? Y'all really just gonna sit and hate? Or maybe y'all just, I got 30 people that are watching like it's a podcast and they just sit back and listening to me. Maybe that's what it is. I can say, let me get to at least 20%. Let me see, okay, let me get at least, when I get at least 50, when I get at least 60 thumbs up, I'm gonna start back teaching them. Now, I'll just stop it right now. Because even though it's free, meaning it doesn't cost you anything, it's gonna cost you your participation. I need you guys to participate with me. I'm not talking just to myself or for my health. I need you guys to like this and participate so YouTube knows that you value this and they're going to send this out to more people that are interested in this. It ain't gonna cost you money, but it's gonna cost you something. Don't just be a spectator, be a participator. Okay, there we go. 51. I need 9 more thumbs up. Then I'll get to teaching. I can't accept the fact that I got 20 haters. I can say at least I got maybe 10 people hating on me, just sitting back and hating. I can at least say that. If it ain't that, I'm like, listen. Terrell, you gave a super chat, but you didn't ask a question in the super chat. You gotta ask you a question in the super chat, family, so I can see what your question is. And this right here, I'm never gonna use this again. It's too sweet. That's too sweet. Making my teeth hurt. So I'm gonna make sure I look out for you, Terrell. When I open up to ask questions, I'm gonna look for your question first, because you're supposed to ask the question with the super chat so it'll stand out to me. All right, where we at? We only got 53 thumbs up, 7 more, and I'll start back teaching. Okay, there we go. 7 more. Y'all think I be playing? I ain't new to this. I'm true to this. I don't do this for play. I do this for pay. Even though if y'all don't pay me, YouTube gonna pay me. Listen to me. So, guys, a quick recap. I'm talking about the 10 basic things you need to get funding, no matter what type of business you have. Thing number 1, the first thing is you need to have an EIN number. The second thing is you need to be registered with the Secretary of State, either as a LLC, INC, S Corp, or C Corp, never as a sole proprietor, never as a DBA doing business as. That's the second thing you need. The third thing you need is a business checking account. Because once you have a business checking account, then you're open in the eyes of the banks. And in order to get a business checking account, you need to have an EIN number, you need to have your articles of organization from the Secretary of State, and you need to have a clean check systems. And the way that you have a clean check systems is basically, do you owe a bank? And if you do owe a bank, then you can get it completely removed and wiped off according to the FDCRA, and the FDCPA. All right, now I'm about to teach some more. Now I want everyone, if you're with me, I want you to say FDCRA. FDCRA stands for the Fair Debt Collections Reporting Act, the FDCRA, all right? So the FDCRA is how you're able to legally wipe things off of your check systems and off of your credit report if you owe it. It is a law. It is a federal law. And the reason why, this is another reason why I start in the United States. So I'm teaching on how to become an expat entrepreneur, how to get funding from the United States to reinvest in other countries, okay? The FDCRA. The FDCRA stands for the Fair Debt Collections Reporting Act. FDCRA. Fair Debt Collections Reporting Act. The Fair Debt Collection Reporting Act basically states that a business has to follow the protocol and guidelines in order to properly report a debt on your report. If they do not go through the guidelines, or if they do not have the paper trail, then it will instantly be removed. That is by law. And when a lot of businesses go under, when a lot of collection agencies sell their debt to other collection agencies, whenever you see a third-party collection agency, 99.9% of the time, they do not follow the FDCRA. And the way that you get your items removed from your credit report and or check systems is through the loophole, the legal loopholes in the FDCRA, okay? That stands for the Fair Debt Collections Reporting Act, all right? So that's how you're able to get those items removed, all right? So once you have those first things, your EIN, your articles of organization, you have your bank account. After you have those things, then you also need to have a business plan, okay? You need to know what you're going to do with the funds. This is important. The reason why is because if you don't know what you're going to do with the funds, then you're not going to be able to get enough. You can get 10,000, 20,000 and just do nothing, but you need to know what you're going to do with it. A lot of times, some people will come to me and say, Dean, I want to start a business, and they don't know what they want to do with it. They just know that they want to be they just know that they want to have a business. They just know that they don't want to work for somebody else, but that's not good enough. If you want to build a holding company, you should build a holding company while you're figuring out what you're doing, and your holding company can fund your ideas, but it's important for you to know what you're going to do. You need to understand that one, business is hard. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm grateful that I have been an entrepreneur and been gainfully self-employed for the past 15 years. And it is hard. Every single day it is hard. I took off the last 4 days from the restaurant, from the calls, from coaching, from my call center. You want to know why? Because it's hard. I live in paradise. I live in paradise. But I was not enjoying paradise. I needed to take 4 days to sit back and view it and enjoy it, because I had been working entirely too hard. Entirely too hard. And I said all of that to say this. If you think that owning and starting a business is a get-rich-quick scheme, you're going to fail. I did not find success until I got into my 5th business. People nowadays will laugh at you or quote unquote joan you or troll you or make fun of you for failing. But if you never fail, you're never going to find where you're going to get your fortune. Your failure is going to prepare you for your fortune. Because if you try and you fail and you continue to try, that's because now you're trying from where your heart is, and you're going into things that you have your heart's desire is. So when you're doing things where your heart is and where your heart's desire is, that's what's going to push you in order to keep moving forward. You know, the #1 best-selling book of all time says that where your treasure is, your heart will be also. You have to figure out the things that you're passionate about, the things that drives you, so that's going to fuel you to keep moving forward when you want to give up, cave in, and quit. Because being an entrepreneur is difficult. You're not, listen, you get business funding, but guess what? You got to pay it back. You know that, right? So let's say, for instance, if you get $100,000 in funding and you just let it sit, you have to pay it back. You have to. So yeah, you can use the funding to pay for itself, but eventually, what's the point of having it if you look up and you squandered your money and you haven't created something new to make money into what you want to do? So you haven't invested into making money. Let me give you an example. So remember, the 5th thing that you need is you need to have a plan. Like you guys y'all remember the PPP loan, right? If you heard of the PPP loan, I want you to say, I heard. If you got a PPP loan, I want you to say, got one. If you got denied, I want you to say, got denied. So how many of you guys know about the PPP loans, right? Let's do a temperature check. So many people got PPP loans, and then they used it to buy Rolexes and buy watches and buy cars, and they used it to go trick off. They used it to go travel the world and to date beautiful women. They used it to buy clothes, but they did not use it for their business. Some people did get PPP loans and invested in real estate overlooking the ocean. Some people did get PPP loans and they did use it to invest into other pieces of real estate, or they invested in equipment for their business, or they used it to take care of the payroll or whatever it was, or whatever they did. But so many people squandered it. They just looked at it as, oh, it's free money, and did absolutely nothing with it. And now they're stuck and don't have nothing to show for it. The reason why I say that you need to know what to do with your money is because now you have to start structuring your company. So once you start structuring your company, you need to know you're about to start getting funding. You need to know what you need to do with it. Because if you don't know what you're going to do with it, it's just going to, it's like a thief in the night. The same book that said that where your treasure is, your heart will be also, it says that a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands, then poverty will come on you like a thief in the night. You hear me? If you get to fold in your hands and you get to be sleep, you don't know what you're doing, you don't know what you got going on in life, then poverty is going to come on you like a thief in the night. You're going to wake up being broke. You're going to wake up and you're going to be broke. SBK Lifestyle, what's going on, man? Like for instance, SBK Lifestyle, he is a personal trainer. SBK Lifestyle, he is a personal trainer and he's a coach. And he also travels the world. He can easily get $50,000 to $100,000 for the purposes of that. He can create online courses, invest the money into creating online courses, invest the money into creating merchandise and material. He can get his own gym, like Pump Chasers, like Chris Jones. Get his own gym, get his own supplements like the Hodge twins. When you know what it is that you want to do. So getting a business and starting a business is not a get rich quick scheme, okay? You have to know what it is you want. Like me as a business, everything that I do is related around business coaching. If it's not related around business coaching, then I'm not gonna do good at it because my heart's desire is into teaching and coaching. The main reason why I got the restaurant was because one, it was such a great deal, but also two, I wanted to show you guys it can be done. There was so many naysayers that was like, all you do is, well, not all you do. So many people say that, okay, it's digital. It's nothing tangible. You know, what can you do tangibly? And I teach people all day long how to get businesses, how to start businesses, how to grow businesses. The main reason why I got the restaurant was to show you that it can be done. Boom, built business credit and organization. Boom, got the funding so I can teach you guys how to do it. The main reason why I got the restaurant is from the course Expat Entrepreneur. To show you guys, boom, I'm living in a different country. I have the #1 restaurant and lounge in Puerto Plata, and I use business credit. You want to know how to do it? Enroll into this course, and I'm going to teach you how to do it. Expat Entrepreneur Coaching. That's the main reason why I got it. Besides, it was just a phenomenal, great deal. And, you know, but it's cool. You know what I'm saying? It's cool to be like a mogul. Like I said, Frank Lucas, one of my favorite entrepreneurs, and he owned what's the name of it? Was it Bumpy Johnson's? That was the name of his club. So like every entrepreneur, you know, it's good. Like Jay-Z has a 40/40 club. It's dope, you know, to walk into your own restaurant or lounge and it's yours. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's a dope thing. It's a mogul type of thing. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to make that move. It was called Bumpy's. I think that was the name of it. It was Bumpy's. So I said all of that to say this. That I'm not saying it's to boast or to brag and not to impress you, but to impress upon you is that for me, it's all revolved around teaching and coaching. If it ain't revolved around teaching and coaching, I'm not going to do good at it because I'm going to get tired. I'm going to give up. I'm going to cave in. I'm going to quit. Like I wanted to give up, cave in, and quit dealing with the restaurant. But instead of giving up, I took a break and it restored me and gave me the energy to get here to teach. You guys, if you guys are with me, I want you to say with you, okay? If you learn something new, I want you to say OMG. Let's see where we at. We got 84 people watching live and only 65 thumbs up. Let's get these thumbs up to match. We need 85 thumbs up. Come on, don't just be a spectator, be a participator. Okay? So, I said this is that you're gonna need to know what it is you're gonna do with the funds because if you don't, you're going to squander it. You're gonna get 10,000 or 5,000 and then that's as far as you're gonna go. You're not going to get to the 50s and the hundreds of thousands of dollars if you don't know what it is you want to do. All right? So once you have a business plan, so you have your EIN number, you have your articles of organization, you have your business checking account, you have your Yeah, your EIN number, your articles of organization, your business checking account, business plan. The fourth thing is a business plan. Fourth plan, you know exactly the fourth plan. You know what you want to do with your business. The sixth thing you need to do is, it seems so basic, but you're gonna have to have a business email address, and the seventh thing is a business phone number. Okay, so that's not seven. I'm tripping. 5 and 6. So a business email address and a business phone number. Now, just because you say it's a business email does not make it a business email. If your email address ends in a yahoo.com or a gmail.com or a msn.com, you do not have a business grade email address. I don't care if your main email address is bigbootymonger@gmail.com. Then you say, no, I'm changing it from bigbootymonger from gmail.com to xavierjohnson@gmail.com. That doesn't mean that you now have a business email address. Okay? Xavier Johnson might be a big booty monger. Both of those email addresses are not, I repeat, they are not professional email addresses. So let's say if you are bigbootymonger@gmail.com, but then you change you want to become a designer. No. Let's say a furniture maker. All right. So your email address will be something like info@xavierfurniture.com or CEO. Got a whole table full of women down there. Or CEO@xavierfurniture.com or contact us at xavierfurniture.com. So that means that you need to have a email address that ends in your business name. So you have to have a email address that's a business professional email address, okay? So like for instance, Yoga, like say if Yoga had a business and it was Yoga Entertainment, his email address would be info@yogaentertainment.com or CEO@yogaentertainment.com or contact us at yogaentertainment.com. It wouldn't be yogaentertainment@gmail.com. If you guys got it, I want you to say got it. All right? So you have to have a domain. The reason why is because when you have a business domain, a couple of things. One, you're now able to register with distributors, because a distributor will kick out your registration if you have a Gmail or a Yahoo. So when you want to get business lines of credit through Amazon and Walmart and Sam's Club and Restaurant Depot and Lowe's, when you register and you use a Gmail or a Yahoo or MSN, anything other than a professional domain, they will kick you out and you'll become red flagged. Yes, I'm live streaming. Who says that? So Big Man says, great to see you live streaming. Yes, so much. Big Man's 7877. Yes, I took 4 days off so that I can start back doing what I love to do, teaching truth to power. I had to take some time off. The next vlog that you guys are gonna see is actually when I go to the cigar factory and I secure my cigar brand. You guys, that's the next video. I should drop that tonight. You guys, should I drop that video tonight or should I wait? I think I should drop it tonight. If I don't drop it tonight, I'm gonna drop it probably Wednesday. Sundays and Wednesdays are my best analytical days for YouTube. If I don't drop it tonight, I'm gonna drop it on Wednesday. It's me actually when I went to the cigar factory to secure my cigar contract. Okay, you guys got it? Okay, you guys got it? Okay, yes. So you have to have a business, you must have a business email. Then you also have to have a business phone number. A business phone number does not mean that this is a cell phone that you use for business. If you use a cell phone when it is put in a bank's underwriting database or when you register for some directories, the technology will show up that it's a cell phone. If you use a Google Voice or a novelty, it will register as if it is a voice over IP. So there are certain companies that you can go through that will give you a business phone number that will allow you to still use your cell phone, but they will give you a business phone number so that when you use your business phone number, it will show up as a business number. Because you have your business line, you have a business line, a residential line, and you have a mobile line. Your phone numbers register. So when you are wanting to apply to get funding from certain companies, they require you to have a business phone number. So there are a few companies like Freedom Voice, Ring Central. There's some virtual offices that come with business phone numbers. And what they'll do is you're able to port your number over to your cell phone, even though it is your business line. So even though you guys might call, like even though my clients, my phone number, even though I'm in the Dominican Republic, my business phone number still rings to the US, then it comes to me here in the DR, or it'll come to my team that's in the US with the different technologies, okay? So if you know, so let me, like, if you guys know what, if you know what call for, well, I don't want to sound, most people might not know what call forwarding is. Let's do this. If you know it, because some people don't know, I don't want to insult people. Some people might not know. So if you understand call forwarding, I want you to say, I understand. If you don't get it, I want you to say, don't get it. All right? We got 75 thumbs up. The reason why y'all see me lifting up my hands is because I can't see the analytics because of the ocean behind me. So I lift up my hands so I can see the analytics with my dark skin. So we got 80 some odd people watching live and 75 thumbs up. Come on, let's get 100%. The haters have left by now. The video is too long and too boring for the haters. If you're watching me right now, it's because you like me. Stop being a spectator, be a participator. Hit the thumbs up. Let's get the same amount of people watching live. We got 79 people watching live and 76 thumbs up. There we go. We need 100% participation. If you're watching me at this point, it's because you vibe with me. All the haters have left now. So let's see. I understand. You're trying to get money like me, Travis R., well, then you're definitely in the right place, man. I'm going to do everything in my power to teach you how to be successful. Roll the Tape is in the building. What's going on? Richie Rich is in the building. What's up? Hey, Roll the Tape, do me a favor. Hit that share button and share this with your community. So hit that share button, Roll the Tape, and then share it to your YouTube so your YouTube community will see that I'm live and they can come and join as well. Do that for me, Richie Rich. There we go. We got 84 thumbs up and 74 people watching live. That's what I'm talking about. So that means a hater hit a thumb up on the way out. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. We got more 100% participation, 100% thumbs up. There we go. Here we go. So let's do a recap. So in order to get funding, now remember, in one of the things, we said you need to know what your business is, but to a bank, they haven't even looked at what your business is yet, other than your domain name. So look, first thing you need is an EIN number. The second thing that you need is a articles of organization with the Secretary of State. In order, you got to do that by becoming either an LLC, an INC, an S Corp, or C Corp. After that, you have to have a business checking account, not a personal checking account, but a business checking account. Then after that, you need to know what it is that you want to do. The reason why you need to know what it is you want to do is because now you have to make sure that you have your business domain, meaning that if it's like Roll the Tape media. So it wouldn't say richierich@gmail.com. It will say richierich@rollthetapemedia.com, or it'll say rich@rollthetapemedia.com, or it'll say CEO@rollthetapemedia.com, or it'll say info@rollthetapemedia.com. So you have to have a domain. You have to have a domain. Then after you have your domain, then you also I'm running out of fingers. All right, you have to have your EIN number. You have to have your articles of organization. You have to have your business checking account. Know what it is you want to do. Business domain Then you have to have a business phone number. Then you also need to have a business address. The seventh thing is a business address. Now, a business address doesn't mean that you're gonna use your baby mama address as your business address. It doesn't mean you're gonna use your side chick address as your business address so your wife won't know what you're doing. It doesn't mean you're gonna use your grandma at house because she always bail you out and she is on the bailsman information. And it doesn't mean that you're gonna use your apartment complex because you've been living there for 7 years as your business address. In order to get business funding that's separate from your personal funding, you have to have a business address. The way that you're able to do that is through something I had mentioned it earlier called a virtual office. If you guys are with me, I want you to say virtual office. So when I talked about the phone number, you can go through a company like Freedom Voice, or as a matter of fact, I need to step back and need to teach on that a little bit more. I got distracted. Freedom Voice or Ring Central, or go through a virtual office. Because a virtual office, they will give you a phone number as well. And I got to teach on that a little bit more. Got a little distracted. So basically, these companies will register a business professional phone number, and they will then port over to your cell phone, or there's an app that you can log into that will allow you to call from your cell phone, and it still be a business phone number when it's registered with the bank's software, okay? Now, a virtual office is a company that rents office space in large buildings or even small buildings. They're all over the world. And what they do is they rent out. It's kind of like an Airbnb. They will rent commercial space for you. Then they will lease to you something similar like a P.O. box, something similar to a mailbox, etc., except they go above and beyond and actually allow you to use their office space as meeting spaces. The most popular company that is known right now is Regis or HQ. Another one is Da Vinci. Another one this one that kind of iffy is called, it starts with an O, Optimum. Optimum is another one. You have to be careful sometimes with Optimum because a lot of Optimum, what they did was they bought a lot of the old mailbox et ceteras. And when they did the mailbox et ceteras, they never went through the process of converting it over. So when you look in the federal bank's database, and when you look in the federal mailbox database, it'll still show up as a mailbox or as a as a P.O. box. You cannot, I repeat, you cannot use a P.O. box as a business address. That is the number one fraud alert when it comes to applying for funding. Unfortunately, people have done a lot of nefarious things when it comes to business. That's the reason why, for the life of me, I used to understand why on earth would people call me a scam? Like, I have so many video testimonies. Like, I really struggled with this, and it took me, I had to learn and understand, and I had to understand the history of entrepreneurship so that I can understand why people will automatically think I was a scam artist. Because I'm like, people who've never done business with me, people who've never paid me. Now, everybody that's paid me and everybody that's done business with me, they know that I'm legit. But people who've never done business will automatically say, oh, you're a scam artist, or you scheming. And I tried to understand why. And it was black people, it was white people, it was Asian people, it was Latin people, it was a lot of different people. And I didn't understand why until I started to research and understand. There have been many people that started businesses to fraud people. When you were a non-descriptive entrepreneur and they just said that they were in business and they couldn't verify this because they were scamming. But my stuff is all verifiable. But people from the outside looking in, they don't know. They'll see you and they'll assume something about you just from jump. They just see something and automatically assume something about you and don't know anything. But what it is they go back to what they learned, what somebody taught them. And so I said all of that to say, that unfortunately, a lot of people, when it comes to getting funding, when they used PO boxes, it was because they were stealing people's identity and they were building business credit under someone else's identity, or for the sole purpose never to pay it back. And so now you can be a legitimate business, have a PO box, and still get flagged as your number one. That's the number one fraud. That's the number one thing that fraudulent individuals use when it comes to getting funding. So listen, we're in 2020. Banking, business funding was created in the 80s. So that means that we're just 40 years old when it comes to banking and finance. Did you guys know that? If you got, not banking and finance, but when it comes to business funding, if you knew that, I want you to say knew that. If you didn't know, I want you to say didn't know. So it wasn't until the 80s as to where business funding was actually a thing. Other than that, it was just nepotism. People would go and borrow money from and use their own personal credit, or their father's father would borrow money for them, or their grandmama's granddaddy, they would borrow money from them. But the actual aspect of business funding is only 40 years old. And the only reason why I know it is because I worked at the bank. If I never worked at the banks, I would have never known this stuff because nobody taught it to me. And the only reason why I know it is because I worked at several Fortune 500 Fortune 500 banks, but instead of having a cushy job where I could feel important as a banker, I have the soul of an entrepreneur, and I had the spirit of a pastor and a teacher. And I was like, I need to go out and teach my people. So I just can't be here confined to corporate America. I learned what I used to start my consulting firm, and I teach. Besides the other business ventures that I have. All right, we got 78 people watching live and 90 thumbs up. That's what I'm talking about. Let's get to 100 thumbs up, guys. All right, you said you have a question. Okay, wait till the end. If you have a question, do a super chat and ask your question in the super chat, and or wait till the end when I get to the end and I open up questions so I don't get sidetracked. As you guys can see, this is live. All right, and I want to answer your questions, okay? So stay with me, okay? So, I said all that to say, you cannot use you can have a P.O. box. I have a P.O. box. I have a P.O. box because I live in the Dominican Republic, and I have a Miami P.O. box, but it don't show up on no business documentation because it's for my personal use. It's not for business use. Because if you do have a business, if you have a P.O. box, that is the number one side. It doesn't mean that you are frauding, but unfortunately, because too many frauds did it, that's the number one way to get red flagged, and you will not be able to get any funding at all using a P.O. box, okay? And that's why, in order to build the type of credit that I'm talking about, the type of business credit I'm talking about, you're gonna need to have a business address. So Dean, how is it that you're talking about living in the Philippines, or living in Thailand, or living in Germany, or living in Jamaica, or the Dominican Republic, or living in Ghana and South Africa, and having a business address? Listen, it costs to be the boss. All right, like I said, if you're thinking that this is a get-rich-quick scheme, it's not. It takes money to make money, and scared money don't make none. You're going to have to pay. You're not going to have to pay an absorbent amount. That doesn't mean you have to get a $700 or $1,000 or $2,000 office space. No, you can get a virtual office for $100 a month. How many of you can invest $100 into your financial future? And you're not paying it to me, you're paying it to the companies. How many of you guys know right now you either smoking cigarettes, or you ordering pizza, or you eating McDonald's, or you trying to take that girl out to get some sugar walls, or you trying to look good for that dude who really got a baby mama and a wife, or you trying to get somebody's attention that ain't even worth your attention, and you spending more than $100 on them, or you pining and trying to get a PlayStation 5, and you doing everything in your power to invest money into Jordans and polo shirts. Now, don't get me wrong, I like the finer things. Like, I'm young, fly, flashy, but it comes at a cost. You see what I'm saying? If you're going to invest in yourself, something that's going to make money. So I said all of that to say yes. So everything that I've said so far has been free up until this point. You're going to have a business address, and it takes money to make money. Do you have $100 to invest into your future? If you do, I want you to say, I got it. If you don't, let's talk about it. At the end, why you don't have it. But you do. I'm going to show you what you do. You have to invest the money into yourself. Come on, guys. Let's take this on home. Let's get to it. You got it? You got it. Says, I can. There you go. You got it. Thanks so much for that. AA 519 says, I got it. Thanks so much for that. Terrell says, I got it. Hakeem Williams asked a question. Yoga said, we got it. John says, I got it. Hakeem says, I got it. There you go. Travis R says, I got it. There you go. Participate, guys. There you go. We well over an hour, but it's all right, though. This is a good one. Got it? So you have to invest in yourself. So it takes money to make money. Nobody in their mind, nobody, whoever says that, oh, you can make money without any money or no, it takes money to make money, okay? And what I'm teaching you is I'm teaching you the legitimate principles on how you're able to do this. So it's like $99 a month. So $1,200 for the year. It's worth it if you're gonna make it. If you're able to build $75,000 or $100,000, you're gonna let that small little fear of having to pay a bill of $99 keep you away from that. That's a good thing I like about business credit is that once you get that foundation, there's so many people that will give you money. So many people that will give you money because now you have a legitimate business. You're not just hustling. You're not just trapping. Whether you are riding from coast to coast, whether you local or whether you regional, whether you want to get equipment to be an owner operator or you get equipment to have your own authority. Once your business is structured the right way, then you're good to go. So you have to have a business address. All right, you have to have a business address. Once you have a business address, now you're going to need something that's called a DUNS number, okay? I want everyone to say DUNS number, D-U-N-S number. Now there's some companies that will charge you for a DUNS number. So let's step back. First thing you need is an EIN number. Second thing that you need is to be registered with the Secretary of State. That's like having your birth certificate. Third thing that you need is you need to have a business bank account. Fourth thing you need is you need to know what you're going to do with the money because now you have to start branding yourself. Fifth thing you need is you need an email address that ends in your business name, not a Google or a Yahoo. All right. The sixth thing you need is you need a phone number, business phone number. The seventh thing that you need is you need a business address. The eighth thing that you need is you need to have a DUNS number. DUNS stands for D-U-N-S. The D-U-N-S is a DUNS number. All right, it's through Dun and Bradstreet. There's some, like Dun and Bradstreet actually is a credit reporting agency that reports to the business side. So remember we talked about Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. They report on the personal side. Then we talked about Check System. Check Systems, they also report on the personal side. But then Dun and Bradstreet is the first business reporting agency that we're talking about. So they report on the business. I want everyone to say Dun and DUNS number. Let's say DUNS number. All right, I want you to participate with me. I want you to say DUNS number, okay? We have 82 people watching live and 93 thumbs up. Let's get 100 thumbs up. If you're coming in right now, and I want you to hit that thumbs up button, hit that like button. DUNS number, okay? Now, what is a DUNS number? DUNS number is basically creating a profile with the business reporting agency. Now, this is the thing. Dun & Bradstreet is not even a U.S. entity. Dun & Bradstreet was actually created in Ireland. Business is international. You build business credit the right way, like I said. It doesn't matter where you are, as long as... Man, this thing, hold on. Hold on. It's loud, guys. Hold on. I was trying to see if there was something in my coffee. A gnat flew in my coffee, so now I can't drink my coffee no more. Gotta finish up my juice. Man, that coffee was calling me too. Man, I need that coffee to finish this, but it's all right though. Let's power through. I'm power through. So anywhere that my other torch. Anywhere that accepts Visa, MasterCard, American Express, and Discover, anywhere they accept it, you're able to use business credit. Dun & Bradstreet was created in Ireland. They are a reporting system to start to report your business activity. Because Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian by themselves will not report your business activity. Now, this is the thing about business credit, is that the more credit you have, the more they give you. So it's important for you for it to report. Business credit is a lot like women. Have you ever dated a woman and she saw who your ex was, and she was either turned on because she was like, oh, that's your ex, or she was like, you dated that person? Ladies, how many ladies we got that are watching right now? If you a lady, I want you to give me a heart. Ladies, give me 3 hearts right now. Let's see how many ladies we got watching right now. I need to talk to the ladies right now. Ladies, give me 3 hearts. Where my ladies at? Ladies, where my ladies at? Where my ladies at? Come on, ladies. Do I really have 100 dudes watching me? Come on, I ain't got no ladies in the building. Y'all, I ain't got no ladies that like this handsome smile. Like this I ain't got no ladies that's digging on my beard. That don't like my style, my flair, my self-worth. I ain't got no ladies that are watching me right now. The rest of all these like entrepreneurial dudes. Let me see. I'm gonna do a call one more time. Ladies, do I have any ladies in the building? Give me 3 hearts. If you're a lady and you watching, give me 3 hearts. God dang. All these stiff legs in the building. all these hairy legs and wide backs. And there we go. There we go, Bluebird. Hey, Bluebird, how you doing, baby? Thank you. Sheesh. I'm starting to feel some type of way. Is it just you, Bluebird? There we go. Who else in the building? Is that Leah? Okay, Leah, 1, 2, 3. Hey, Leah, how you doing, sweetheart? Let's see, who else? At least, do I have 5 ladies? I don't want to see. I guess not. All these dudes is entrepreneurs. That's what I'm talking about. You in my course right now, Leah? That's what I'm talking about. All right, trees by. Here we go. Here go the ladies. There we go. That is trees by trees. Sister Locks is in the building. Who else? Talina Bell is in the building. Thank you so much for that. We all blushing. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. That's Constance is in the building. Okay, thank you, beautiful ladies. Thank you. Sheesh. I look at all these hard legs in the building. Okay, ladies. Now, be honest with me. Now, and all these. Now, this is a good learning lesson. So, fellas, ladies, if you have ever seen a man and the woman that he dated before was less attractive to you, it turns you off. I want you to say you're right. If you want to say it don't matter, say it don't matter. I'm pretty sure I'm right though. So ladies, have you ever seen who a man dated before and they were less attractive, but they was a loose woman, or there was some street meat, or they you know what I'm saying, they looked like who did it and left it, and you was like, ew. And then they try to come and date you. If all right, so Leah says yes, it's a turn off. So Constance says yes. All right, Trees by Trees says it don't matter. That's what I'm talking about, Sister Lock. You are a blessed woman. Trees by Trees, Sister Lock, that's good. You're very, very unique individual. So Talina says yes. So fellas, that being said, keep y'all exes away. Fatima's in the building. Hey Fatima. So fellas, if you listen, if you done had some nefarious ones and twos when you was horny, or if you done, felt like you done had some night crawlers or some streetwalkers, don't let your pretty girls see who your ex was, because they gonna judge the heck out of you, okay? So the same way that how some ladies are, banks and lenders are the same way. The technical term for it is called credit mirroring. So fellas, now I want you to participate with me. I want everyone to say credit mirroring, okay? I want you to say credit mirroring. It's called credit mirroring. What happens is that they look at your credit profile and they see the largest line of credit that you have. Based on the largest line of credit that you have, they judge and assume that your credit worthiness based on your previous experience, okay? It's called credit mirroring. This is a term used in underwriting. And if you've never been in underwriting, if you've never worked in banking and finance, you probably never heard of it before and think that it's illegal, but it's not. It is not illegal. It is 100% legal to judge somebody's worthiness of your line of credit based on their past experience of their lines of credit. So once you know this and you understand this, you know how to move and how to operate. That being said, when you're getting your lines of credit, you do not want to get lines of credit from companies that do not report. Because if they don't report, then it's counterproductive for you of paying these lines of credit on time, getting these lines of credit if they do not report. So it's important for you to get 5 lines of credit that report to the credit bureaus, because the ninth thing that you need is something that's called an 80 Paydex. And the 80 Paydex is a line of is a credit score based on 5 business accounts that report on-time payments for you. So now notice, it doesn't matter if you are a trucking business, if you do hair, if you sell lashes, if you sell cupcakes, if you are a business coach, a life coach. It doesn't matter if you are a consultant, if you sell and buy planes, whether you sell or buy cars. It doesn't matter what your industry is. You need to do all of these things in order to get to the point of being able to get business funding that's 100% separate from your personal credit, okay? So you need to have an 80 Paydex score so that you're able to get lines of credit that are gonna report, and then you're going to get more lines of credit that report. And once you get, the last thing that you need is a $10,000 line of credit reporting from Experian Business. And once you have that, $100,000 ain't nothing. It's like a blink of an eye. Now, in my course, I teach you the lenders that are going to give you $10,000. In my course, I teach you and show you the lenders that are going to report, that are going to give you the 80 Paydex. They're easy. There are about 50 different lenders right now that will give you $10,000 as a brand new startup. Once you have that $10,000 and everything else the right way, then do the math. There's so many different lenders that will give you $10,000 and $20,000 and $30,000. You multiply that by 5 or 6, now you have $60,000, $70,000, and $80,000 in funding. So it doesn't matter. Now, once you've gathered up all your funding, if you have, let's do the math. Let's do the math. If you have 7 different lenders that will give you $7,000, how much money is that? 7 times 7 is what? Let's do the math. So I can show you guys. 7 times 7 is what? Let's see. 49,000. There you go. 50. That's it. Yeah, 49,000. 50,000. 49,000. 49,000. 49,000 is right. $49,000. And that's without having to verify your social. They verify your social, to verify your identity, but that does not report to your personal at all reports to your business. Could you take $50,000 right now to start a new business and to start a venture? Remember, you're gonna have to take money that's gonna make money for you. And once you do this $49,000 right, and you pay it on time for 6 months, guess what? They'll give you more. They're going to give you more because it's just introductory. They're just starting out. Okay, so now I'm going to answer your question. So did you guys learn something new? If you learned something new, I want you to say, I learned. If you didn't learn, I want you to say, waste of time. Even if you're watching on the replay, I want you to participate with me as if you're watching me live. Yes, you have to pay it back. Like I said, it takes money to make money. You have to pay it back. That's why you want to take that money and use it for something that's going to make you money. You're going to have to use it to make you money. I mean, technically, the business can file bankruptcy, but why do that? Why go through all that effort? It takes roughly 6 months to do all of that. No, anywhere from, well, I say 6 months now. Before COVID-19 hit, it would only take 3 months. Because now, because of COVID-19 and how slow things are going, it's taking roughly 6 months to get stuff done. So why go through all of that and then just let it go to the wayside and have to do it again and have to do it again and have to do it again? Because once you do that 50 and you take care of that 50, they're gonna throw money at you. I have lenders that throw, you want $200,000? You want a line of credit of $200,000? Once you have that introductory line of credit and you show that you're able to handle that, they will just give you money. Banks want to lend you money. Guess what? If banks don't lend you money, they don't get paid. Now let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. Scared money don't make none. So let's say this. Let's say for this. Let's say if you had a payment. Let's say for instance, if all of your lines of credit equaled up to be a payment of $750 a month. If you have $750 a month paying out, but you're making $4,000 coming in and you're working for yourself, what is your monthly net profit? If you have $7,000 going out, but you have $4,000 coming in, what is your monthly net profit? What is that? What is your monthly net profit? We're talking specifics now. We're not talking big astronomical numbers to scare people. We're talking about legitimate, real number. $3,250. That's right. Big Mig. $3,250. Oh, a little over $3,000. Bluebird. That's right. Leah says, my course has been invaluable. I can't wait to apply for my DUNS number. That's what I'm talking about. You know you're not in the red, so let's look at it. No, you're in the black. Yoga. So look at it. $4,000 comes in, but you have to pay $700 for your, or you have to pay $750 for your loans. So $4,000 minus $750 is $3,250 in profit. How much is that per year? How much is $3,250 times 12? How much is that times 12? Now this is just the small minimum amount. We're not talking about really hitting some home runs. We're just talking about how you can be gainfully self-employed and live your best life. $3,250. $39,000 a year. No, I said seven. I apologize. I must have been talking. Some people heard it the right way. Some people heard it the right way. I said 750. So if your payment is 750. So everyone says 39,000 a year. How many of you guys right now who makes around that right now or close to that? Now you're able to walk off your job. Or you can make that as a minimum and then make even more than that, just as a minimum. Now, when you're living in a third world country, that 39,000 is really going to hit like you're making 150,000. My people that travel can understand that, can attest to that. The cost of living is so much more. So how many of you guys right now, for yourself, can live off of 39,000 a year? Off a small amount. This is a small amount. Nothing big, nothing major. I don't want to throw out these large numbers to scare people and to sound grandiose. Like, you can make $1 million a year. Everybody don't have $1 million a year business. Bluebird raised her hand. She said she could. Terrell says, I can. Brian says, I can. Terrence says, I can. Hands raised. John says, exactly. Constance says, I can. Some people can't. Some people have a very lavish lifestyle. That means you're going to have to hustle harder. And you're going to have to make more. I'm just talking about the entry level of becoming self-employed, being able to live your best life. Freddie Stock Investor says, I can. So, I said all of that to say, when you break it down like that, you realize that, okay, you are limited by your self-limiting beliefs. You're able to, now everybody don't have $1 million business. Everybody not gonna make $1 million selling t-shirts. Everybody not gonna make $1 million selling cupcakes. Everybody not gonna make $1 million as a personal chef. But you can, if you scale it up the right way. Selling products online, being able to be, whatever your heart's desire is. But if you're able to work for yourself and invest all your time and your energy into something you love to do, taking care of all of your bills, paying all of your bills, then you're good. That's how you're able to live the best life, live the life of your dreams, okay? So I'm gonna answer, how many likes we got? We got 106, so I'm gonna answer 10 questions right now. Okay, so let's see the super chats. Let's see those super chats. I didn't see any, I saw some people that did super chats, but I didn't ask any questions. So let me answer your questions. So if you have a question, answer it right now. If I see it, I'm gonna answer it. Terrell had a question. Terrell, number one, he gave a super chat, but then he asked, but he didn't answer a question with it. So Terrell, I said I was gonna answer yours, the first one that I saw. But I'm gonna answer 10 questions. First 10 questions I see, I'm gonna answer. Y'all typing, boy, y'all typing up a storm, boy. Try to keep your questions. You live in the DR? LG, that's what I'm talking about. Yo, you just wanted to be a blessing, Terrell? That's what I appreciate that, Terrell. All right, so Bluebird says, is the 10,000 cumulative or a single trade line? That's a very good question on Bluebird. It is a single trade line. So that first 10,000 that I teach, it is a one single trade line because you have to have that one single trade line reporting. So that first one I teach is a single trade line. So Big MG says, great teaching moment. Thank you very much. The best way that you're able to share or to give me, to tell me that you value this is to share it on your Facebook and share it in a group chat and share it in your private Facebook group. All right, so one yoga, I don't know which yoga this is, if it's the real one or not, but it got a picture. It says, how long does it take to build up business credit? I don't think that this is the real yoga, because it don't sound like him. I think the orange circle is the real yoga. But as how long it takes, like I mentioned before COVID-19, it would take 3 months, but now it's taking around 6 months to do it the way that I said, because of how the banks and lenders are going, because certain banks are closed, and because of the social distancing, and some courtrooms and some courthouses are closed as well. So in order for you to get your articles of organization, you have to file that with the Secretary of State. Some of them are working from home, so it's taking a little longer to do. You get your EIN number instantly. You get your DUNS number within 24 hours. So with your articles of organization, sometimes that might take a little bit longer, maybe a week or maybe 2 weeks at the most. But I said all of that to say that it used to be 3 months. I could stand flat-footed, 10 toes down and say, boom, it took you 3 months. But now it's taking anywhere from 3 to 6 months because of COVID-19. I'm not gonna lie to you. All right, so DL says, I had to overdraft my personal bank account from Bank of America and Wells Fargo in the 90s. They still in check systems. I had a business account that I let close my record label, no money. Okay, so if that's what you want to do, then I mean, not what if that's what you did, then you need to contact Check System. Check Systems is free. It doesn't cost anything at all for you to check, just like checking your line of credit with not line of credit, checking your credit limit with not credit limit, your credit report. You can contact Check Systems. So if you Google Check Systems, it's CHECX, it's Check Systems. It's Check Systems, and you can look at Check Systems and you can see exactly and order a report, and they will tell you if it's reported or not. Now, if it's gone through a third-party reporting agency, you can go through certain ways to clean that up. However, if it's still showing up, then you'll have to get on a payment plan to pay them off, or you can just dispute them. If, like I said, if they don't go through the same process of the FDCRA, which stands for the Fair Debt Collections Reporting Act, then you can get that removed. So Yoga says, it's me, Big Smoke, at Villa Party, by Pool, Summer Hill, Hand Roll, Yoga Cigars. Okay, all right. Okay, so Terrell says, can you run more than one business under the same LLC? Yes, you can, but I don't suggest that you do so, because when you do that, you limit your business credit. So you're able to get multiple businesses, and you can run multiple businesses, but we're talking about getting funding. Now, legally, yes, legally you're able to do so, but we're talking about getting funding. For the purposes of getting funding, you want to have a separate one because you're able to get more funding. But yes, legally you're able to do so, but when you're running multiple businesses, you want to make sure that your business entity is set up the right way in order for you to get a line of credit for that business. But it's not the wisest thing to do. Like, that's why if you notice, Donald Trump will have 150 different businesses, and they have multiple different business names. The reason why, like I said, I have multiple ones as well, because it's the easy, cheap way to do it. But God forbid, let's say for instance, God forbid, somebody get one of my cigars, and let's say they're allergic to vanilla. Let's say they have a deathly allergy to vanilla, and they dumb enough to order one of my vanilla infused cigars, and then they die. The family member begins to sue me. If they sue me and all of my businesses, say if all of my businesses were under E.DeanCole Enterprises, that means that they have something that's called charging orders to get money from all of my businesses. But because it's separated by that one business, all they're able to do is to get the assets from that one business. If you guys understand that, I want you to say understand. So that's the reason why you will see multiple businesses, multiple people will have multiple LLCs, because LLC stands for Limited Liability Company, all right? So because it's a limited liability, that's why you want to limit your liability. When you have real money, you have real assets, you want to protect it. So that's why it stands for limited liability. Tyrone, Holly. Tyrone, if you're a client, call the best. Tyrone, if you are a client and you're enrolled into our course, make sure that you contact 800-867-7941. That's 800-867-7941. Okay? That's 800-867-7941. Contact the office, and we'll pull up your information so I can know, and we can see exactly what's going on, what email address you provided, if you are a client of mine, okay? If you are a client of mine, contact the office, 800-867-7941. Understand that was a very good question, John, absolutely. All right, guys, I'm answering a few more questions. You guys have any more questions? Well, we have 109 people watching live, 192 people watching live. So Money Mike Slick Will says, Dean, do you have a lender that will make a business loan with real estate? Absolutely, we have multiple ones. So Money Mike Slick Will is a very successful client of mine who has multiple lines of credit. I mean, multiple multiple properties in the West Coast, and I think he has 2 properties that are paid off. So yes, Money Mike Slick will contact the office. And you want to do a one-on-one consultation, we can do a one-on-one consultation, and I can set you up with, we have 4 lenders that I know of that will use your real estate as a line of credit. It depends. They will lend up to 70% in your business name, not your personal name. So let's say, for instance, if you have a property that's worth $100,000, they will give you a line of credit of $70,000 that you're able to use for business purposes. So that means that if you have a property that's worth $50,000, they will give you 70%. All right, so Leah says, I finally got my business bank account. It was difficult, but I'm not currently in the US. Yeah, because you're here in the Dominican Republic. I tried a few of the FIN tech banks and was declined because of being a new business. Okay, well, we're glad that you got it set up and you got it set up the right way. When you have your business address and you have it set up the right way. Now, I don't know, I know you're here in the DR. I just say Leah. I hope I'm saying it right because it's LEEJAR123. So Leah, I don't know if you're a U.S. citizen or not, Leah, because I know you're here in the DR. Are you a citizen? Where are you from, Leah? I know you're an expat like me. Bluebird has the question. Bluebird, contact the office, 800-867-7941. Contact the office tomorrow at 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. 800-867-7941. A lot of people, a lot of stuff has been sent to people's email and it's in their spam. Folks not checking stuff. It's in their junk folder. Stuff been sitting. We got email receipt on a lot of stuff. Okay, Bluebird, contact the office tomorrow at 10:30. 800-867-7941. You guys have any more questions? Let's see. Any more questions? I'll give you guys 3 more questions and I'm going to call it a day. I think this was a successful live. Did you guys think this was successful? Did you guys enjoy it? I think we got over 100 people watching live and we have over 100 thumbs up. So I think it's very successful. Very successful when it comes to the analytics. Brian said my super chat. Let's see what Brian said. Let's see, Brian, what was your question? Okay, okay, Brian says, will late child support or IRS issues stop my business credit? That's a very good question, Brian. So Brian, if your child support is private, meaning that you just owe your baby mama, but it's not showing up on your credit report, then no, you don't have anything to worry about. If it is showing up on your personal credit report, then no. If you go through the steps that I mentioned and you get business credit that's separate from your personal credit, then that public record will not affect you being able to build business credit. It can affect your personal credit, but it will not affect your business credit if you go through the proper steps of building your business credit that's separate from your personal credit, okay? Now, if you owe the IRS, then what you need to do is you need to become non-collectible, okay? Once you go through the process of becoming non-collectible, literally takes 15 minutes to do. Most people don't know this, but if you owe the IRS and you become non-collectible, then that does not report to your public record, and it will not stop you from being able to build your business credit, and it will not stop you from investing in real estate and investing in properties. When you are non-collectible, that means that you will not have a lien that they have to attach. So what happens is that when you have public records give that lien holder the ability to attach liens to your real property, or they call them either FIFA liens or mechanic liens. It's just a lien, okay? So what happens is that once you go through the process of becoming non-collectible, then you don't have to worry about the IRS. You just have to go through the process of becoming non-collectible. And I can teach you how to become non-collectible legally. You have to make sure you use the law, not just do stuff, but legally do stuff. The difference between my course and a lot of other courses is a lot of people teach you how to just do stuff and how to hustle, but everything I do is according to the law. That is how I learned to underwrite. That's how I learned to do business. So you have to go through the steps. It might be tedious, okay? It might be tedious to do. It might be frustrating to do, but it literally only takes 15 minutes to do. But once you legally become non-collectible, then you'll be fine. Once you legally make sure you set up your business the right way and separate your business entity from yourself, you'll be fine. So, as a matter of fact, if you have a crazy baby mama or you have a bitter ex, then you need to set up your business and you need to set up an ironclad corporation or an anonymous business so that all of your money is protected. Like for instance, you saw how 50 Cent, y'all remember when 50 Cent got sued and he was like, I ain't got no money, but then he showed a picture of his refrigerator and he had like $5 million in his refrigerator and he's always flashing money. You guys remember when 50 Cent went through his legal battles? Remember when 50 Cent went through his legal battles with his ex, with Rick Ross and with his baby mama? If you guys remember, say, I remember. If you don't, I want you to say, I don't. And if you don't, I want you to go and Google, look on YouTube after this, because it is going to be, it's very informative. So Money Mike Slick Will says, yep, I remember. Terrell says, yes, I remember. Who else remember that? All right, so BGMG says, yes, you remember. Okay, you remember? Okay, so because you remember, because you guys remember that. So basically, because he went through the proper channels to set up his business legally, because his business, Curtis Jackson, is completely different from 50 Cent, which is completely different from all of his other ventures, okay? So that's why, remember we talked about charging orders? Remember we talked about charging orders and we talked about the idiot that's allergic to vanilla, but is gonna get one of my vanilla infused cigars. Instead of getting one of the Hennessy infused cigars, or instead of getting the cherry or the chocolate infused, this idiot wants to get vanilla infused. Then they have a definitely allergic to vanilla. So I said all of that, you have to protect yourself. You know how, like you guys know, like I have a diss video that has over 20,000 views. Somebody trying to quote unquote diss me. I have over 20,000 views. And I'm nowhere near a 50 Cent. People will throw a lawsuit up against you for nothing. So when you have like a bitter baby mama, or you have a ex-wife or anybody, when you have a hater, you have to protect yourself. Because unfortunately, people want to have what you have. Instead of working for it, they try to take what you have, or they try to take, you have to take, or they try to take you down, or they try to take what you have instead of doing it themselves. So I said all of that to say, some people call me a celebrity. I don't say I'm a celebrity, I'm a regular dude. But people are always looking to try to take advantage or to get. Like y'all know about the story of somebody who felt like they was entitled to my restaurant. They felt they was entitled to it because they happened to show me where something was. They felt entitled to it. Felt like it's something belonged to them. People are, when you deal with crabs and you deal with haters and you deal with people that are always trying to take something from you, you have to protect yourself. You have to protect your assets. So that is one of the burdens of being successful and being a public figure, especially in today's day and time, because people are always trying to take from you. So imagine if you have a bitter ex-wife, or imagine if you have a real legit enemy. So you have to protect yourself. So you have to protect yourself from your friends and from your strangers, unfortunately. And that's the reason why you have to legally go through the process of building your business the right way, and legally go through the process of protecting yourself the right way. All right? More successful you become, the more lawsuits you can tend to get, unless you protect yourself the right way. You said the site facelift looks good. Like you like the website Bluebird. You like the website facelift. That's good stuff, Bluebird. I'm glad you liked it. I'm glad you liked the new website. So listen, guys, I have enjoyed my Sunday morning, halfway eating my brunch, because this right here was too, if you guys like sweet stuff, get this sugar. Y'all like, it was too sweet for me. It was way too sweet for me. And I'm going to get me another macchiato. I got a macchiato machine at the crib. I'm going to get me another one. I got one last super chat. God dang it. Right when I thought I was out, you keep pulling me back in. I'm going to answer this last question, and then I'm going to go. So listen. All right, let me answer this last question. So King Solomon says, I'm a client, Mr. Simon with Simon Logistics. I have got the application you emailed last week. You said you never got the application you emailed last week. Okay, so King Solomon with Solomon Logistics. I'm going to make sure after Solomon Logistics LLC, on Monday morning at 9 a.m., I'm going to look into my email to see what happened. You said you did not get that email. I'm going to resend it. I'm going to send it, and make sure you check your spam folder, and make sure you make sure that you approve all emails from DeanColeCoaching.com. I'm gonna make sure that I send it personally at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you do not see it, contact the office at least by 10:30. The office number is 800-867-7941. So I'm gonna make sure that I look into what application you did not receive personally at 9 a.m. tomorrow. But I'm gonna spend the rest of my Sunday, enjoy my Sunday. But Monday, we gotta get back to it. So listen, guys, remember, the only person stopping you from being successful is you. If you don't know it, you can learn it. If you don't have the character, you can develop the character. It doesn't matter the color of your skin. It doesn't matter your sexual proclivity. It doesn't matter where you're from. The only thing that matters is what you decide to do with your life. If you don't have a business coach and you don't have a mentor, you have met him, I will be your coach. I'll be your mentor. If you want to enroll into any of my courses, the links below will take you to any of my courses. And listen, the only person stopping you from being successful is you. Go get them. Success is waiting for you.